And welcome back. This video is going to be a video on the elevator trim tab. It's a pretty simple piece. The trim tab is just something to help ease the workload off of the pilot to help maintain level flight. And so it's just a small piece on the left elevator that you can move up or down to help maintain level flight. So the piece itself is basically two skins with 3 foam ribs inside, and then it's got a piece that's riveted to the bottom skin to where the trim tab the elevator trim tab motor will attach to, so that you can push a switch and the motor will move the trim tab for you. So it's a very simple piece, not a lot to it. The biggest issues or biggest things that you have to worry about when putting this together really is the piano hinge. When you match drill the holes, you want to make sure, like you do with the elevator itself, you want to make sure that you measure the hinge so that you ensure that it is straight along that forward edge of the trim tab, and that it's also won't make your trim tab crooked. So you want to make sure you measure it out correctly before you match drill. Other than that, the Pro Seal, just again, Pro Seal, from what I hear, I haven't used it yet, but from what I hear, it's some nasty stuff. And I could tell when I just took it out of the package, you can already smell how bad it is, and it's sealed. So that kind of tells you, once you open it, how bad it's going to be. But I'm waiting until I get both the left and right elevators themselves to the point to where I'm ready to put the foam ribs in so that I can do it all at once. You only have about 30 minutes of time to use the Pro Seal, and I want to minimize how many batches I have to make, so I'm going to try to do it all at once. So anyway, I'm dry fitting everything together here. Like I said, you have the top skin, the bottom skin, you have the trailing edge spacer, and then the forward end is another piece that you rivet or cleat into place in this case, and then that forward structure piece is where the piano hinge is attached to. And other than that, it's fairly simple piece. So basically just go through, do a dry fit, make sure everything looks good, everything's fitting together, and then here I'm going to be match drilling the 2 holes on either side. Eventually those will be riveted in to hold the sides together, and then from there I'm going to take it back apart, and as you see me doing here, and then I'm going to take the trailing edge spacer and then use that to draw a line on both the upper and lower skins, and then I'm going to use that to mark out where I need to scuff on the trailing edge. And you do that so that the double-sided tape, you'll use double-sided tape on the upper skin and lower skin where it attaches to the trailing edge spacer, just as an extra, I guess, insurance that it stays in place. I'm not entirely sure why the double-sided tape is there, but it's the same thing I did on the rudder, and you'll do it here also, both here and on the trailing edge of the elevators. So that's what you see me doing here. Just again, scuffing everything up. I'm also going to mark out where the ribs are, and I'll scuff those area up also. Here, this is a special tool that you use to help minimize what I call pillowing. And basically you take the trailing edge of the skin and you fold it down, you fold it in on itself essentially. And this tool here is basically a set of pliers, vice grips that have metal pieces welded to the both tongs, and it basically you clamp that down a little, not extremely tight, because you don't want to squeeze the metal. You just want to get a good firm hold on it, and then you just bend it down slightly, just so that when you rivet it, it doesn't cause the skin, it prevents the skins from pillowing up, and it makes a good trailing edge. And then here you see me countersinking the frame. This is where the piano hinge attaches to. Also, the skins will mount to the top side of this. So I'm countersinking for the skins because the skins will be dimpled, so that it has a flush mount rivet. And then the bottom side of this I'll dimple with the pneumatic squeezer. But it has you, the instructions have you cleco the piano hinge to the forward structure piece and then countersink. And I'm not exactly sure why, because you don't want to countersink a whole lot, because I believe this is the minimum size thickness of metal that you're allowed to countersink. So you don't want to go very deep, just deep enough to where the skins will sit in properly. And if you do that correctly, then you shouldn't touch the piano hinge, but that's what it has you do. So here I'm marking out where the ribs are based on the dimensions that are given in the instructions. And then you take the rib and trace out the other side, and then that's where you will scuff up the skins. And again, just like the trailing edge with the double-sided sticky tape, you're marking up the skins here so that the Pro Seal has a good mating surface when you glue the ribs in place, basically. So you do that on both the upper and lower skin. And then anytime you sand the skins, you want to take some kind of acetone or some kind of cleaner and make sure you get rid of all those shavings or any of the dust and all that kind of stuff, because it doesn't do any good to scuff up the material so that you can get a good adhesive surface, but then still have lots of dust, so you lose the quality of the adhesiveness of the surface there. So then going through and just finishing up the prep work on the skins, dimpling all the both the upper and lower skins. And other than that, there's, like I said, not a whole lot to this. Now, I think I stated already that I'm waiting until the elevators are caught up to where I'm ready to put the trailing edge ribs into the left and right rudders, elevators themselves. And that way I can do all of it at one time, because Pro Seal is a nasty stuff. It stinks. You have very limited amount of time to work with it, and it's not cheap. So trying to get everything ready to do it once, and then be able to knock that out, and I'll be done with the elevators. I don't have a whole lot left on the elevators themselves. So once I get some of the things I'm waiting to be delivered in the mail, I'll be able to finish the elevators and get everything to the same point, and then get the Pro Seal done, and then essentially we'll be done with the elevators. So one, maybe two more videos, and I'll probably be finished and moving on to the fuselage, which I'm looking forward to. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let this run out here. For those who continue to watch, again, thank you. If you get a chance, click that like button. I'd appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.